I know, you guys only have one question. BMAC, what new Apple products are you getting? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, BMAC. I personally had a terrible night's sleep last night because I kept dreaming that I was sleeping through my alarm, missing the pre-order window. But now we're good. We're in the clear. The orders have been placed, which leaves the question, which of the 3 new products announced at the September 2019 Apple special event am I shelling out the cash for? Will I be snagging that new iPad, rocking the new Apple Watch Series 5, or setting up that new iPhone 11? And if so, which models, what finish, what storage options, etc., etc. So, let me break it down for you. This is what I snagged. Let's start things out with the new iPad. Apple announced and now has a new iPad on the market. It's not an iPad Pro, it's not an iPad Air, it's just a new iPad. In comparison to the last new iPad, we now have a 10.2-inch display, so just a little bit bigger than the 9.7. And internally, things are pretty darn similar. Not identical, but pretty similar. If you guys have been thinking about getting an iPad, but you wanted to keep budget in mind, now might actually be your time to shine. Considering how much you could do with the iPad, and considering you now get a 10.2-inch display for the same price as you were getting the 9.7-inch display when it came out on the last iPad, when it was introduced. But for me, personally, none of that really matters because as you guys know, I recently bought the iPad Pro a couple months ago, close to a year ago, actually. My first iPad ever, if you could believe that, and I went straight to the Pro instead of some kind of in-between model, but went straight to the Pro, haven't looked back since. And it has almost completely replaced my MacBook, especially with this setup we have right here with the keyboard. So I love this new iPad Pro, but because of that, I really don't have a need for the new iPad that was just announced. Maybe if I start flying my drone a little bit more and I don't want to have to keep hooking up my iPad Pro to the drone just to get that display to see what's actually going on because this thing's kind of expensive and every time I use it on a drone I risk damage. Maybe if I wanted to get a secondary iPad for purposes like that, I would consider it, but for now, I'm loving my iPad Pro. No reason for me to upgrade or downgrade or upgrade the downgrade, whatever you want to consider it. So when it comes to the iPad, for me, I'm a pass. No new iPad for me this year. Which brings us to the Apple Watch Series 5. Yeah, about that Series 5. I personally don't like to jump to conclusions on products until I've actually had the product in my hand so I could test it a little bit, but I did live tweet out when it comes to the Apple Watch Series 5 at the September 2019 Apple special event. I was very, let's just say, underwhelmed. I'm actually kind of shocked how minor of an upgrade the Series 5 is from the Series 4. I mean, if you're gonna be dropping $400 on a new watch, I was expecting there to be a couple more features than we got, especially if you're coming from an Apple Watch like the Series 4. So when it comes to the Apple Watch Series 5 versus the Series 4, what exactly are you spending that $400 starting price on? Well, not a whole heck of a lot, actually. Basically, we're getting 4 main upgrades with the Series 5. We're getting an always-on display, more storage, a built-in compass, and a faster chip. Those are like the 4 only things we're getting in the Series 5. And if you want to consider the new finishes a feature as well, you've got those. We have the reintroduction of the ceramic Apple Watch as well as the new titanium Apple Watch. All this with the same starting price for the Series 5 as the starting price was for the Series 4. So does this mean I'm going to be upgrading to the Series 5 from the Series 4? Well, let's break it down this way. Is my Apple Watch Series 4 sufficient for my needs? Yes. Are any of the features I just talked about in the Series 5 worth upgrading to when coming from the Series 4? No. I mean, at least personally, not really. So am I getting the Series 5? Yes. Why? I don't know. I'm an idiot. Kidding. Not an idiot. Well, somewhat kidding. I'll be honest with you guys. Straight up, if it weren't for this channel, if it weren't for this brand I built, if it weren't for you guys being curious about the Series 5, if I wasn't able to actually make content about the Series 5, no, I wouldn't upgrade. I wouldn't even give it a second thought. I'd keep my Series 4 and be happy. The features or upgrades we're getting in the Series 5, in my opinion, just aren't really worth the price when coming from the Series 4. More on that in a subsequent video. But since this is a tech and lifestyle channel, since I do talk about products like the new Apple Watches, since it makes for good content and since you guys want that content, I'm upgrading. But pretty much only because it's content-worthy content. So yes, I'm getting the Series 5. I already ordered it. This is what I'm getting when it comes to the Apple Watch Series 5. In terms of material, I went for aluminum, which kind of makes sense because the last 3 Apple Watches I got were made out of aluminum. And this is mostly because I use the Apple Watch first and foremost as a sports and fitness watch. I'm wearing this thing every single day at the gym. I bought it to be able to track my workouts at the gym. And so naturally, with my wear and tear at the gym, my daily workflow, this thing could get a little bit dinged up. Now, that goes without saying. I don't want to drop $1,000 on a watch that I'm going to be wearing to the gym if I'm going to be lifting weights while wearing it. That doesn't add up. And with color, as if you guys actually had to ask that question, obviously I went with space gray, so I'm getting the space gray aluminum Apple Watch Series 5. Why? Because, you know, matte black everything, that's how I do. But also because I just think space gray perfectly matches the actual color of the display itself. The black on black, it matches. So then we have the GPS only versus GPS and cellular option when it comes to the Series 5, which if you guys have seen my previous videos on this channel, I actually have an entire video breaking down that decision alone. If you guys know me, you know I will not get the cellular version of the Series 5 simply because I wouldn't use it. I have my phone with me 95% of the time, so no need for it. And then another little thing you get to choose is your band. I probably have like 2 or 3 different sports bands from Apple that I personally don't even like to wear when I'm working out. They're not really breathable. It makes my forearms sweat. Don't like them. So I actually decided to switch it up this time and go for the Sport Loop. Hopefully the Sport Loop will be a little bit more breathable, and since it's in the Anchor Gray color, it's gonna match the rest of the watch. Kind of excited for that. Almost as excited about the band itself as I am the actual watch, which is both kind of understandable but also concerning. But then we cannot forget about display size. So I think it pretty much goes without saying when it comes to the Apple Watch. I do think bigger is better. Not from a clunky standpoint, but from a display size standpoint. And because of that, I'm going for 44 millimeters. I have another video on this channel breaking down that decision as well. So if you know that video, or if you know me, I'm going 44 millimeters. Go big or go home is what I like to say. I'd never say that. I don't know what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm getting for the Series 5, the Apple Watch Series 5 Space Gray Aluminum, GPS only, 44 millimeter with the Anchor Gray Sport Loop. Wow, I can't believe I actually got that right on the first try. More content on the Apple Watch Series 5 and comparisons from the Series 5 to the Series 4, 3, and so forth. All that will be on this channel. So don't forget to subscribe with notifications turned on so that you don't miss that video. Or videos, those videos. Now closing things out, the kind of obvious elephant in the room, the new iPhone. Now will I be getting the new iPhone 11, the iPhone 11 Pro, or the new iPhone 11 Pro Max? Or will I not be upgrading at all? As if that was possible. Well, if you guys don't know, I'm actually a member of the iPhone Upgrade Program. It's a program Apple offers that actually allows you to basically lease the new iPhone when it comes out. You pay per month, and then after 12 months, you could actually trade in your old iPhone for the new iPhone. It's a seamless transition. I love it. I think it's totally worth it. Definitely check it out. So with that in mind, obviously it makes sense for me to upgrade every year. 1, because I can, and I'm basically paying to do so. And 2, just like the Apple Watch and every other Apple product, it makes for good content on this channel. So yes, I'm upgrading, but which model am I upgrading to? Without breaking down every single new feature of the new iPhone 11 models, let's just put it this way. I will be coming from the iPhone XS Max, as you can see, an OLED display, a beautiful max size display. So downgrading from either of those 2 features of the display itself would be exactly that, a downgrade. And your boy doesn't like downgrading. So that pretty much eliminates the iPhone 11 from the equation altogether, which leaves the iPhone 11 Pro. And since I said I have the XS Max right here, I really don't want to downgrade from the max size display just to the regular one. So the cat's out of the bag. iPhone 11 Pro Max. That's what I went for. The pre-order is in. It was basically a no-brainer. But what was a brainer, what I had to think about was the choice of finish that I wanted on the new iPhone. Now we do have beautiful textured matte new finishes on the iPhone 11 Pro model, something I'm actually pleasantly surprised with. I personally would have liked to see an entire redesign of the iPhone 11 with square edges similar to like that we have on the iPad Pro, but going to a textured matte finish, that will suffice for now, I suppose. 100% in on the textured finish, but the question is, what color of the finish did I choose? Well, Apple shook things up a little bit with a beautiful new color called Midnight Green on the iPhone 11 Pro models, and I had to really seriously consider whether or not I wanted that color. But then I realized everything I own is matte black, gimbal, matte black, iPad Pro, matte black, even my computer case, which is right there, matte black. So come on, did you guys really think I was actually gonna consider getting the midnight green color? No. No. I went space gray. So space gray iPhone 11 Pro Max, which basically just leaves the storage space. Now, if you guys do follow me on Twitter, you know I actually took to Twitter last week to try to decide what to do. This iPhone XS Max is a 512 gig storage capacity in this bad boy right here. I think currently, I looked it up, I'm only using about 200 gigs of that actual storage, which made me think, wow, I actually have a lot of storage there that I'm not using. Maybe I should downgrade to 256. But then I did the math and I'm like, okay, that only leaves like 50 gigs of space over the next year with all the photos and videos I'm gonna be taking on the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Probably not a good idea. So I stuck with the same storage size I have right now, the 512, and there you go. The iPhone Pro 11, damn it, I wanted to get it right in the first try, messed it up. The iPhone 11 Pro Max 512 gigs in space gray. That's it, that's the one I got. Those are the two products I'm getting from the new products announced at the September 2019 Apple special event, the new Apple Watch Series 5 and the 11 Pro Max. But do me a favor, comment down below what you guys are getting, what new products you're getting, the color, the size, the actual model, all that in the comment section below. I'm very curious to hear what's gonna be most popular this year. And in the meantime, I'm gonna relax. I still get pre-order jitters, or I guess that would be pre-order jitters, so pre-order jitters. It's like, I'm like shaking when I'm ordering the thing, like, gotta get it in time, gotta make all this content, and I think I'm still shaking actually. Yeah, I am. I will see you guys in my next video. The pre-order's in. There's nothing to worry about. I don't understand what's... Yeah, I don't get it.